In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello everybody, welcome to the show. Check my audio levels here. I should mute one thing before I get started, just in case I listen to music on the other computer, it doesn't kick in. I'm SM SithLord. This is the twice a week stream right here on the stream channels that you're watching on. Last session, I created this world, which is going to be used as the web fashion show parcel venue pretty soon. Let me drop into here with my amazing new Ready Player Me avatar. I look like the Plague Doctor or the guy from that James Bond episode from New Orleans. I look like a lot of different people from New Orleans, actually. Mardi Gras style. So here is the world. I got some nice fog going on and baked materials. There's no real-time lighting going on the environment. There's a couple directional lights that only light the avatars, but the environment is not being real-time lit, which is why it's so pretty. Now there's something that I want to demonstrate in today's stream. A couple things. First of all, let's say that you want to have a nice camera view that the camera shows when people load into your world. You can absolutely do that. You can set a custom camera position, but not only that, you can set an entire custom camera animation that before the user, like right now, before the user even clicks on join, they'll see your camera animation flying around the 3D room. So let's demonstrate how to do that. So here, if you go to this URL, somniumspace.com/parcel/3388, simple enough to just go to, it will show you this camera view before you click join. How does it do this? Well, let's take a look at the Play Canvas project here in the WebWorlds SDK prefab and see how that camera is positioned there. Well, it looks like there's just a camera there. It is just a camera object, and it's culling its frustum, which is good. It has a pretty high field of view, which gives it that wide angle look, and you also will be able to adjust your field of view when you position your cameras, just like this one is. And you're able to set your far clip, your near clip, and that kind of stuff. You have total control over this camera. Now, when you position your camera in the world, your web world here, you can drag it around with its gizmo and position it like that, and you get that little preview up there in the top left. Okay, that works. Maybe you're a gizmo person and that works for you. However, there is a better way to do it. If you're like me and you want to fly the camera around, you click on the camera view, and now you're actually like in the camera view and you're flying it around. And when you position it somewhere, you see like the position and rotation are actually changing because I'm moving the camera right now. And if I go up here to get out of the camera view, over here where it says camera, you got to change it back to perspective. And there we go. Now you see that there's the camera where I positioned it. There's what it sees, and that's my new location of my camera. We'll leave it there for right now because I'm about to do something crazy with it. So right now, that camera position would be used as the starting position when the person loads in. So to show you again what that means, I quickly refresh my parcel here. This whole environment is only like 3 megabytes big, so it like instantly almost downloads, even on mobile. Slow, unreliable connections, that variety of mobile. But yeah, you see here, this is the old camera view. If I push to the new camera view here, like I published this update to GitHub, then it would show the new camera view. But that's not what I want to do. I want to make an animated camera that flies around the scene right here. Right here, I want my camera to be flying around the screen before I even click join. Kind of like how when you go to a regular parcel, excuse me as I plug in my 3D mouse, it's going to make that little new USB device detected sound, which you guys won't hear, actually, because I muted my computer, so we're all good. So we want the camera to fly around here in a loop, very much like what happens on regular parcels with that camera kind of just rotating around the whole parcel. we want to have a custom thing for a world. Now we can't just rotate around an origin in a world because there's no telling what the world's going to look like. We have to define a custom camera, at least a custom camera position like I did here, or a custom camera path like I'm about to do in 3ds Max, where I created that 3D model. Open. Where are we at here? There we are, Fashion Web. Okay. Switch my unit scale back to the right stuff. Meters, good. Okay, so here's my scene in 3ds Max. This is where I baked the lighting and all that. I want to set up the camera position and animate it all from here, which is going to end up being pretty easy to do. It'll be a little bit different based on what app you're using. So Blender, it'll be a little bit different, but it's mostly any animation app. We're going to try to animate our object along a spline. You'll have to Google that for whatever your favorite app is. It's a little different depending on what 3D modeling package you use. In 3ds Max, it happens to be super simple. So let me go to the top, or actually this is the top. Okay, we're good. We're gonna draw my spline up here. So we want to start here. And we want to rotate all the way over to here, looking at the stage, okay? And then after we're looking at the stage, we'll want to rotate a little bit more. It looks somewhere else as we fly in. Oops. Okay, so we have a ridiculous spline laid out here. Now it's time to make it not so ridiculous. What if we just made everything smooth? Smooth is good. Smooth is good. Because we are a camera. So if we're moving around this path nice and smooth, we're also going to need a camera target to go along with this. But I think I might keyframe animate the target. Okay. So we start here, we're looking at the stage, we go through here, we're looking at the stage, and then we kind of stop looking at the stage, we spin all the way around and we look at that, and then we're back to looking at the stage, and then we do a loop. This looks pretty good, so let's do it. Let's attach, or let's get our camera ready, is what we need to do. I'll call this cam path. I'm actually not going to export this in the end, because I'm going to bake the animation into the node that I'm moving around. Okay, camera. We want a target camera, targeted, like so. Okay, this is where the multi-view is going to come into handy. If I can actually see what I'm looking at, perhaps. That's the wrong part. Wrong camera. Okay. Let's pick this thing up some. There we go. Oops, let me hide this because it's confusing. The target is right there. We're going to start with the camera target kind of there. The FOV on my camera, I'm going to crank up eventually. almost good. Just adjust this. Okay, so now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select my camera and I'm going to say tools, or we're going to go to animation. I believe transform controllers, or no, constraints, path constraint to this path. Okay, now what I need to do is make my path three-dimensional by raising it up some right there. Okay, now we're cooking. Now my path is still two-dimensional, but it's sitting off the ground some. When I play the animation, you see the camera is going to go through the path. It's going to have a fixed target, which is not exactly what I want. And it's going to run through the whole animation to do this. Now what happens if I go over here and I rescale the animation? I wonder. Would I ever say, hey, let's make this thing 300 frames. Is it going to scale that? Or is it going to loop 3 times? No, it's not going to scale it at all. That's just terrible. So let's try to regroup this thing with the modifier, animation, and with the animation constraint, path constraint. Constraint not complete. Let's break it and then just do modifiers, animation. Animation. Do it all the way to before. Oh, I can't undo it. Eesh. Okay. Well, if I can't undo it, let's see if I could redo it. So, I did this, and then I picked this up, and then we had all that. And then when I select the camera, it has a keyframe at 100 that I want to be at 300. Now it takes the whole 300 frames before it completes its cycle. We are almost looking good here. I do want to change the focal point some. So let's do some keyframing on the focal point. Also, we do need to make sure that we are looking good. So let's change this down to high quality without active shade. Let's see how the animation goes. It's a little fast. I'm gonna slow it down still. Yeah, because we want this to be a really slow animation. Okay, that wobble at the end, it looks weird right now. Maybe it won't look so weird after I get the, after I tune it up some. Okay, so let's go from 300 all the way up to 600 frames. Move my camera object. Keyframe all the way up to 600. Let's try it again. It's still a little fast. However, I can control the playback speed inside of Play Canvas also. So I won't fret too much about the playback speed. What I need to fret about is the framing, because it's going to be 16 by 9. I could set a safe frame that shows me, but I'll just do the little director thing here and be like, yeah, that looks pretty centered here. I think that I just need to work on the animation of my camera target and when and where that's going to change. So how, when, and where is that going to change? Well, it looks good here, but then I think like right here, it needs to start shifting. So like right here, okay, got this thing here, we're good there, but then by the time the camera gets over here, we actually want to be looking all the way over here at this thing. I'm looking at that for a while. Okay, and then when we get to about here, that's when I want it to start turning and looking the other way by the time it gets to here. Now, we're looking over here, buddy. And then by the time it gets over here, I think that we're back to looking over here. Okay. I believe that the keyframes are all set up for this animated intro camera. Let's give it a try. No, that last part's no good. Let's rethink how this last part even goes down. Right here. Okay, so all of these, no good. That looks like it's going to be better. I do want to end on the same position that I started in. Right there. Let's try that one. How we looking? Okay, and I'm going to slow it down some when I play it back in the editor. So I think that we're good here. Let's get this thing exported and in there. Now, let's talk about hyper optimization. We want everything in the entire scene to transfer in one GLB, the asset file. We don't want to have a different GLB for the camera animation, a different GLB for the stage background, a different GLB for each chair. That's no good because it's a different request, network request to download each of those. Now, if everything is batched into one GLB, that's one network request for everything, and then you break apart this asset pack and you instance meshes from it and render objects and stuff from it, however you need. You instance things if you need to. So instead of thinking like one GLB per physical object, like per prop, you should, if you're going for hyper optimization, be thinking of one GLB for the entire project, the entire scene. Like if you have bullets that a gun shoots, you'd want to have that bullet included in the GLB, you know, but like you wouldn't show the bullet just like it's a static art asset, but you want to have the asset just bundled in. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. And to do that, I need to unhide the thing that I hid earlier, which was the collision. Yes. And I need to select the things that I want to export. What is it that I want to export? Well, I want to export most things, but it's more like, what do I not want to export? I don't want to export any of the lights because There's a lot of lights here. You could export the lights with the GLB. Play Canvas would understand that. It would have the lights at the same positions when you imported it through the WebWorlds SDK. But the thing is that if you have that many real-time lights happening, it's going to lag people on lower-end devices down. So we don't want any of those lights. We also don't want the camera path. The reason we don't want the camera path is because I'm baking the animation into the camera itself. Now I'm hoping that this export does everything that I need, and we're going to find out right now. Specifically, I need the camera and its target to both be, well actually, I need the target to be a node. I need the camera to be a node. Its target is not so important. So let's just see what this looks like when I export. Save, export selected, and we're going to export it into Fashion Web as a GLB. And I don't want to overwrite the existing one just in case I screw things up. So I'll make a backup copy and then I'll save it over this. Export. Now, it's going to look a little weird when I double click on it in my File Explorer to preview it. And that's because it's doing that thing where it's packing a bunch of stuff into it for reduced network requests. So when I click on it, you're going to see the collision box there. That's the first weird thing. I don't see where my camera and light is. That's a little concerning, but it's not too much because there's other ways that I can export those if it didn't work out well. Let's see how well it really worked out. This is how we test that. Fashionweb.glb I already have in my asset list. So when I upload a new version of fashionweb.glb, the Play Canvas editor here is going to be smart enough to update the version of the model that I already have in the project instead of making a brand new model. So it might get a little weird as it tries to deal with the extra nodes, but it looks like it did it fine. But now I need to deal with these extra nodes that perhaps it didn't deal with. So let's see what happens when... Oh, it's still processing my textures here. I'm looking for the template. Fashion Web. What happens when I drop a brand new Fashion Web in there? Do I have any nodes for the camera? I got backdrop, I got decor, I got benches, I got shells, but I have no node for the camera. That's no good. Let's fix that. Did I even get a sequence out? I should have. I didn't get a sequence out because I didn't export anything that was animated. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to make a sphere, the most boring node possible. I'll even take this sphere down to 16 segments, and I'm going to call this sphere camera ball. We'll call it attract cam. Attract cam. There we go. Now this thing I'm going to position directly on my thing here. I'm actually going to make it not so big. I'm going to make it that big. Okay. Take this one down to 8 probably. Yeah. I'm actually going to hide this thing eventually, but we got this thing here, and now it's time to animate it. I'm going to assign the same material to it that's used elsewhere, just in case I don't add materials to it. Now this thing is going to be linked to the camera that it's going to be animating on, there. And now you see in the editor, when the camera moves, the ball moves. And that is the hope that I'll be able to make everything work from this. Now let's make sure that the camera spins when the ball spins. I need it to align with orientation also. So this thing is almost pointed to the back of the camera, and when the camera spins, it's still almost pointed to the back of the camera. Yeah, I believe that it is rotating as well with it. Yeah. Cool, it looks like everything's gonna work out well. Let's try to do that export one more time. And what did we do with the export? We deselected all the lights, because we don't want the lights in this particular environment. Sometimes we might, not this time. We don't want the path, and we don't even want the camera or its target, because now we got this other thing I'm exporting. This could do it. So let's export selected GLB. Yes. It's not giving me options for baking animation, which is a little weird. I don't know. Well, where's my animation options here? I might have to export as an FBX eventually. Okay, so there's the thing there, the little ball. Let's upload this to the project and see if I get my sequence, because if I don't get my sequence, I'm going to have to change to an FBX for this model. I'm used to seeing options like baking animation when I export. And if I don't see those options, it does not bode well for the export. Okay, so it added my new thing here, but I don't see an animation asset here. Yee, okay. Well, so much for exporting everything as GLB. Let's try to export it as an FBX and see how that goes. Okay, also, I'm gonna export just this one object out as this GLB. Because it's more ideal, I mean, as this FBX, it's more ideal to have everything in one file. But instead of burning a bunch of time trying to figure out how to get the animation to export with the GLB, I'm just going to export it as the FBX and see how that looks. So this is fashionweb.fbx this time. And I'll have some glorious animation options here. We want to export the animation. We want to bake the animation all the way from 0 to 60, and we will take all the animations it wants to give us. Curve filters, huh? Constant P reducer, I think everything else is fine. We do not need to embed the media. And we're going to export. Okay, now when I double click on this FBX, you'll see a ridiculous ball floating around. It doesn't make too much sense here, but it will when we merge it into the project. Because now, when I go over here to Fashion Web, this will be Fashion Web Cam, I'll call it. I'll drop this one into here. Now we will have a glorious animation. Yes, okay. Material, we don't need. It automatically converts the FBX to GLB anyways internally. I'm just trying to get good with GLBs. That's why I haven't been using GLBs. The attract cam renderer. Oh no, let's get the template in there first. Here you go. Okay, looking good. No, not. Why is that? Scale. Truncate this, but the original values weren't trunked. Okay. Now it should be about the same spot. Oh yeah, that's real close. Fashion Web. Let's add to this thing an animation controller. We're going to give it the simplest animation state graph ever. It's actually just a blank animation state graph. Don't have to do anything else to it. But we're going to assign this animation state graph to there. And now we can assign our glorious animation. And the speed, I said I was going to take it down to 0.7. Okay. Now it should work. Now we can test this before I do the whole build. Here is how. Oh wait, I forgot to do a step. Our camera. Our camera is sitting over here all by itself. We need to parent our camera to the ball that's going to be floating around. Maybe I should show you the ball floating around before I do this step. So, click launch, get into the Play Canvas editor here. There's the ball, which will be our camera. Now I'm going to hide the ball and replace it with the camera. The ball looks like it's got the rotations all baked in, everything that we needed. I'm going to make it go even slower because it looked like it was going a little fast there still. So I'm going to take it all the way down to 0.5 speed. 0.5 speed. Maybe even slower. Yeah, we're gonna take it all the way down to 0.3 speed. There. Now the camera is just gonna be rotating really, really slow forever in a loop. Perfect. Okay. But we need the camera on there. So right now it's just the ball floating around. Right? So take this camera. Now, if you wanted a stationary startup camera, all you gotta do is position a camera in your scene. Okay, that's all you gotta do if you just want the stationary startup camera like that. But if you want to take it to the next level, you have to parent your startup camera to the animated bone. So I'm going to kind of move it over here so it's close to this thing. You know what? It might be better if I just go to this thing and I just add a track camera. I'll just add a camera component to it. That'll probably be easier. And the field of view, I think, was the only thing that I changed. I changed it like 57. Okay, we could do that. Let's delete this camera. We added the camera component to here. And now we'll give it field of view like that. We're good, and I could delete the actual track cam mesh. And now we're just this camera that is going to float around. You won't be able to see it. Oh, there it is. Oh, cool. I can test it also here. That's right. Why not? Of course I can. Here it is. This is in the Web Worlds SDK test scenario. But here's what I'm thinking. If somebody joins in the middle of the event, there's probably going to be a bunch of people standing up there showing off their avatars. And then there'll be people standing around by the benches. But mostly they'll be over there by the stage. So camera is going to get a good view of everybody here. We'll just twiddle our thumbs and let it go through the whole process. And then I'm going to update the web world and show you what that process is like, in case anybody needs to see that. But this is a super chill camera. This is good. Now we could make it more hype. We could, instead of doing just a linear path, we could make the camera like jump around to different paths, you know, in the animation, in 3ds Max or whatever. So we could have like a really complex camera that's cut into different areas and even changing, well, it's just pretty much cut into other areas and flying around in different paths. However, this is good for us, and I just want to make sure that it loops. I think it just looped. Okay, perfect. Let's get this onto our parcel. So right now, when we go to our parcel, what do we see? We see this. After the cool loading screen, stationary camera. The process we're about to go through right now, let me make sure my textures are compressed. Oh really? It didn't overwrite my basis compression. Really? Well, that's surprising. Okay, I'm surprising myself by looking at the technical details, but let's skip all the technical stuff and get straight to the technical stuff. I'm going to click version control. That'll get you there. This is the menu you got to get to. And then I'm going to publish, and you're going to download a zip. I always, out of habit, I check these two boxes. You don't need to do that, but I do, and I can't help it. I'm going to click download. I mean, this project only has one scene. There's no reason I would ever need to click select all. I just do. It's habit. Download this. Okay. Now we got the zip downloaded. After you have your zip downloaded, you have to unzip it so you can upload it. You do. Well, on my computer I do. I don't know. Maybe other people, they're able to upload directly from the zip. The point is, you can't upload the zip itself. You can't upload the zip itself. You got to upload the files in the zip. Where do you upload them to? Okay. If you have your own web space, you can host them on your own web space. You have to set up your course headers for the folder you hosted in to have allow control access star or allow control access Somnium Space.com. Now, if you have your own web space, that all probably makes sense to you because that's some nerdy web space stuff, okay? I have web space. I know how to do that. If you don't have web space and you want to get your creation onto a parcel, don't fret. It's all good. You can use a free GitHub account to create a free GitHub repo, upload your files to it, and you can use free GitHub pages to host it. It'll configure it for that course thing I was talking about all by itself, so you don't really need to think about that too much, and it will just work. Okay, so that first process of setting up the GitHub repo and deploying the first version of the thing on the GitHub pages, I already did that on this project in the previous session. So today, right now, I'm going to show you what it's like to update one of your projects that you already have on GitHub, that you already have assigned to a parcel, how to update that world with a new version, which is a very useful workflow to be familiar with, because you're probably going to want to update your worlds. It's not like set it and forget it. You're going to want to add new things, revamp them for new events, and that kind of stuff. So here it goes. Let's go to GitHub. The short version, if you have your own web space, is you just upload the files and overwrite the ones that are there. And that's what I'm going to be doing right now. I'm just going to upload the files and overwrite the ones that are there, but I need to find the right repo. The right repo, I have a lot of repos now. Fashion web world, okay, and then I'm going to upload files. And notice how I'm doing this without even having an FTP program. If you have your own web space, you know what an FTP program is. Also, if you're like a hardcore programmer, first of all, give yourself credit if you program at all. Second of all, having like the GitHub desktop client or knowing how to use Git from your command prompt, that's some elite stuff, okay? So we're not going to do any of that. We're going to go super easy mode here. Click upload files, and we're just going to drag and drop from Windows Explorer into our web browser the files that we want to upload. As easy as that. Then we wait as it uploads. This is a small project, but because there's so many files, it takes a while to upload. So I'll just mention that PlayCanvas, the engine that's going to be running this during runtime, it's really smart about what assets it loads. It will not load an asset until it's needed. Some of these it won't load at all, and it's really good with asset management. Okay, we're good. We uploaded this thing. I'll say added camera path. You're able to put a little comment about what you changed, like a change log. So that's what I typed in there. Okay, now we wait. We wait for two things. We wait for this weird screen that says processing your files, which I really don't know what that means. But then, now it's done. The second thing we have to wait for is the automated process where GitHub updates our website pages. That is, if you click on actions, it'll show you the progress of that. Pages are being built for deployment. Looks like we're queued. Okay, you kind of have to click refresh to see the things here. Okay, we're building, okay. It also shows you the progress on this page here. You see how it says in progress for GitHub pages. I'm just waiting until that in progress changes to deployed. So I'm just, maybe it's done. Let's refresh and see. There, it's done. I'm sorry, it changes to active. Now that it's done, you can go over here and click on view deployment. And that's going to show you exactly what your web world looks like straight from GitHub. So it's not going to look like Somnium. It's going to look like an empty scene. But here's the thing. Since on our web parcel, we already pointed it to our GitHub repo, it's going to get whatever the current version of that repo is every time we go to the parcel. So I don't have to do anything in Somnium Web. I just go back to my parcel and click refresh. And it's going to show me my animated camera path. Oh, wait, no, wait. Maybe I'm cached. Yeah, because I had it open. I had the page open the whole time. I do need to refresh my cache there or close the browser and open it back up. That usually happens. But if somebody's like on your page while you update the files, browsers usually, they keep it cached. Okay, so there. We're not cached anymore, and our camera is flying around beautifully. Attract mode camera. Even with the FOV that we set on it. Let me go full screen here to get that full effect. Isn't that cool? Now check this out. Okay, so this is just exactly, this is what a user is going to see when they visit your web world before they even click anything. And this is going to make it cooler right here when I show you what it looks like when there's other people on the parcel, like so. I'm joining on my other computer. I'll be my glorious Mardi Gras Ready Player Me. Look at that! You can see the people! You can see the people dancing! before you even press start. And while you're in this cool attract mode, getting these cool camera shots. So right now, the only thing that you could do with the camera pathing like this is the intro camera. But maybe in the future, there's going to be other ways exposed through the Somnium Web SDK that gives you more control over when these camera paths get triggered and stuff like that. Because camera paths are pretty cool. Don't underestimate the power of a good camera path. Walk in front of this thing. I can shoot movies now. If I just I get the camera path down, and then I know where the camera's at. I know when to walk by it. Action! You know, all that kind of stuff, man. So there you have it. We got custom join, intro camera paths being defined in our 3D modeling program right there next to the actual scene environment. Saved out and played there. And now you know. So this is a pretty simple interior scene. This camera's alright. I can get more in depth with it because some people might prefer this view other than over the view where you stand in the scene. So they might use this as like a screensaver mode, right? So you want to have nice camera paths, and it's okay if your camera paths are really long. Another thing that we did today is the camera path was too fast in the animation. That's fine. There's a little number spinner where you can control the speed of your animation. So it doesn't matter if your animation comes out way too fast. It might. It depends on your animation program. Like mine came out way too fast. Just adjust the speed and you're good. You can go as slow as you want, and I suggest going really slow. Okay. Walk around here. I kind of feel like, hey, let's do some more things with animation while we're in here. Let's do some more things with animation. What could I animate? In here. There's a lot of cool things that I can animate. So I'm probably going to go back into 3ds Max and do another animation once I figure out what I want to animate. Let me change my Ready Player Me real quick too, to show you how cool this is. So I'm the Mardi Gras guy. All right, he's pretty cool. But what if I get bored of the Mardi Gras guy? Well, let's just switch straight into SithLord, or the Jarek inspired Ready Player Me that I made. Yeah, look at that. I'm talking about. Okay, I'm tired of this guy. Let's do it again. I'm gonna change from SithLord, from Jarek there, to this really weird avatar that I got from an Adidas metaverse event. And you can bring it into here to Somnium Web through Ready Player Me, and I'm a custom. This is a guy that I built. So this avatar is a custom avatar that I built in a completely different metaverse, so to speak. It was the Adidas Ozworld metaverse where everybody's avatar kind of looked like this, but you would create the avatars by like giving it a description of your personality, and it would somehow say that this thing that it generated was based on your responses to the questions. I don't know. It seems cool. My little dude turned out looking pretty cool, so I'll roll with it. But yeah, this is an avatar that I created in a completely different game, an Adidas game, saved it to my Ready Player Me, and this was all built into Ready Player Me, and then I'm using it in Somnium Web here. That is some interop avatar stuff happening right there. Not only that, I mean, this is an Adidas avatar. It's not just any interop. It's not just some VRM dropped in there. This is an Adidas from an Adidas metaverse thing. So, avatar interop, man. Here's a form of it. And who knows what other kind of avatars you might see, because this guy, he looks super unique because he came from somewhere else. Just makes you wonder, like, what else is out there? You never know what somebody's gonna pop in as. Okay, more animated things, because I have like an hour left in the stream today. I'm gonna demonstrate some more things. I showed the attract camera, showed the animated attract camera, how to update a web world that you already have bound to a parcel. Now I think it's time to go back in. E-Fix, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for dropping into chat there. Okay, I'm thinking, okay, this is a Somnium event here. Maybe I can get a bunch of the Somnium logo and have them floating around like particles. I don't know if that would be the coolest. I need to think of something cool here. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I just had an idea. And it's got to do with GLB export, baby. Okay. What if I GLB exported a parcel and put it in here somewhere? Like a little mini parcel. Let me think about that. There's not really a pedestal for me to put a mini parcel in here. Maybe I should get a different GLB instead of putting a whole parcel in here. Like a high quality object. What high quality object does this thing need? Does this space need? It's a fashion show. We have the stage. Photo mode looks pretty cool here, by the way, with the not the headlight, but the bloom. Yeah, the bloom stuff looks pretty cool. And the SAO. Oh, you don't want SAO because the smooth corners, they don't work very well with anti-aliasing. Oh, I'm sorry, ambient occlusion. They don't work very well with that. I'll turn that off. This looks good. Kick the DOF in for some really interesting shots where the background is blurred out. How nice does that look? But I'm not thinking of nice shots. I'm thinking of 3D models that I could put into here. And if I'm not going to put a 3D model in here, animated things. I love this space. It's so simple, but I love it. I kind of feel like it could use some Somnium logos in it. Stationary Somnium logos? I suppose. Okay, let's jump on the Sketchfab and just cruise it and find a cool model to put in here. So, Sketchfab, let's talk about GLB import, FBX import, Play Canvas editor, where this thing right here, where I'm making the, I'm arranging the assets into, it out of the box supports FBX and GLB. Now GLB is a really new format, so you might get a GLB that uses like non-ratified extensions that are going to act weird when you drop it in here. So you be aware of that. But if you have an FBX, you have a GLB, you just drag and drop it into the editor here, and that's it. That's as easy as that. It just uploads it, and it lets you spawn it in the scene. So if you're looking for GLB export, here's one of the ways, or GLB support. Web Worlds is one way to get to it. What 3D object would be perfect to put into here, I wonder? I want to put a burger in here, but that's probably nonsense. Let's try searching for fashion. Shoes. Cyberpunk's down. Sneakers. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to find much when I search for fashion. How about a fashion doll? No. I don't want to bloat this thing up with just random... Oh, that's cool. It looks like an action figure. Action bloke. Okay, well, taking too long to bloat. Yeah, I don't want to drop a random model in here. So if I don't drop a random model in here, I can put some... Oh! Oh! How about a giant Somnium logo on the ground? How would that look? It might look pretty cool. It would definitely brand things. And it would be pretty slick. Let's do that. It's not a big, huge task, but let's do it. We're gonna find the coolest Somnium Space logo we can find. Kind of want to grab the cube logo. Everybody's going mad about cubes. Mad about you? Mad about cubes? Oh man, it almost sounds the same. And the cube, this color is going to look better than the black. So I'm going to roll with the cubes. Everybody pray to the cube and let's make it happen. Copy image. I'm going to process this. I'm going to process this by turning it, giving it a transparent background. So I got to open up my image editing program. While my image editing program is figuring its stuff out. Let's go ahead and refresh this and enjoy that wonderful attract cam one more time. Wonderful. And there's the people standing there. Wonderful. It's working. It's working. It takes my program a minute to open here. That's why I'm just chilling out. Let's watch some more of this attract cam, baby. Look at these cool popular parcels. If you're in Somnium Web, you get tired of the place that you're at, be sure to check out the popular parcels. Even if you're in a world, you can access the popular parcels. If you're in a regular parcel build, you can actually click on the stars, like these stars floating off the platform there. Those are portals to nearby parcels, so you can click on those to check out other things too. Okay. My image editing program is done. Opening. Let's get some of that. I'm going to do some of this. That looks pretty good. I'm going to give it one of these. This is going to make it look good with all the AO that's happening around it, which is going to be important. Okay, here's the cube. And I actually want to resize this thing to a power of 2, which means we're sizing it up to 512 by 512. All right. Okay, we're just going to name this thing Som Logo. I'm not going to bake it into the mesh. I'm going to spawn it into the Play Canvas editor, easy mode. We'll call it augmenting the assets here because I'm just going to paste something on top of it. What am I going to paste on top of it? Well, it's going to be that image that I just exported called Som Logo. Oh, yeah, there's another thing that I want to do with space too. Okay, I'm happy that I'm back in here making changes. This material is going to be changed to Som Logo. We'll call it Som Logo Fashion, just in case. Som Logo Fashion. And then emissive, we get that. And opacity, we get that. And here we see we want to use the alpha. And here we want to say that we want to get that color. And now I should be able to create a new 3D plane that uses the material on it. There we go. Upside down. So we're going to rotate this thing. Is it supposed to be green? It is. I thought it was more blue, but yeah, whatever. Green will do, green will do. Okay, this thing, a couple things about this thing. Well, the object, we don't want to cast shadows or receive any shadows. And for the texture, we want to turn off lighting. And now it should behave as if it was emissive and included in the mesh. The only weird thing is it's not going to be baking AO in or shadows. However, I put the shadow in the PNG itself, that little dark outline there, which is kind of like AO. It was a drop shadow, so it looks nice there. And then over here, is the other thing that I wanted to change. That, I want to be Fashion TV. Now, does Fashion TV still have a YouTube channel, I wonder? Fashion TV. Okay, I'm gonna have to find a playlist from here. Here's a 10-minute one. I think I'll put that 10-minute one up there. Okay, random Fashion TV link that I'll be putting on the wall for now. So I'm going to click on that object and I'm going to say, okay, replace it with this YouTube URL. And then for the image that it shows on the front, let's get a Somnium Space image. This is only the image it shows when it's not active. I don't know if we want a black image on the wall. It might darken things up a little. See what the Steam grid image looks like for Somnium Space. That's another black one. Okay. I like that one. I like that one. Where's? Oops! I touched my mic. Where's that blue one at? That blue one would look so at home here. Let's reverse image search this. No, let's. How do I reverse image search this? I know how to do this in Chrome. Visual search. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's what I wanted. A big resolution. There is. Okay, so we're going to copy this. I'm going to size it down. Let's see here. Just take it down to 512 by 256. Yeah, why not? Save as Somnium banner. I'll call it. I'll save it as notice. Okay, so check this out. Actually, I'm going to save this down as 90. I'm going to use this image as what shows when you click on the object. It's going to do two things, this image I'm about to upload. It's going to be what shows on this wall when the web tab, the web browser object, is not active, the iframe. And when you click on it, you see how it says this thing here? It says relaxation, it shows the image and has the URL. I'm going to change those things. I'm going to change these things to be, instead of relaxation, it's going to say Fashion TV and the image. Here's an important technical thing about the image. You do not want to basis compress images that are going to appear in the UI. I'm going to use this texture as the UI thumbnail right here. That means that I should not basis compress this particular JPEG. That's fine. I don't need to compress it. It's tiny anyways. There it is. Also, I'm going to use this texture again on this material. I'm going to use it here for that and for that. Okay, now the placeholder texture is no longer used, the old one, so I can get rid of that. And we got this thing that says Somnium Space on the wall until you click it, and then it's going to show, well, it's actually going to show Fashion TV right away, which maybe I want to change right now. Yeah, I think that I want to change that. I don't want this to autoplay. Don't want this to autoplay. I want you to have to click on it to play it. Okay? Button in new tab, don't need it. View in world. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. And it's going to say Fashion TV and have that thumbnail and look like this. Beautiful. I think that's it. I think we're ready to build this again. Now, my logo down there, is that too big? It might be. Let me refresh here and catch another glimpse of it. Maybe it's not too big. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. A little bit smaller, but not much. Trying to keep it classy here. And we're good with these handful of changes here. Now I'm going to do that process again where I rebuild and redeploy, and look how simple it is when I don't like over-explain every step. Let's build this thing and download it as a zip. Okay. Let's open that zip and unstract it. Unstract it? That's like a mix between unzip and extract. I said unstract. Wow. I'm inventing new words here. Okay. Now that we've unstracted that, we're ready to upload it. Add a file. Upload file. Yeah. That. And my comment for it is going to be added logo and adjusted web. Adjusted iPhone. Okay. Wait for them all to upload. Good. Click the button. This is the part where we wait. Now, at this point, you could actually just wander off and go make a coffee and eat a muffin. And by the time you come back, everything will be done because the rest of the process is automated. So this whole thing where I go to actions and I click refresh until I see it change, you don't need to do any of that if you're not in a hurry like I am. But I'm in a hurry, so I'm going to keep clicking refresh. We're at GitHub pages pending. Let's see that. Now we're at queued. Okay, we're at queued. Now we're at in progress. We're getting there every time I click refresh. It's not because I'm clicking refresh, but it feels like it. Active. Okay. That means that if we click view deployment, it's going to show us it. There it is, live from our GitHub pages. We do not have to change anything in Somnium Web here. However, since I'm on the page right now and I don't want to close my browser and open it back up, I do have to reload. And there we are. And we'll test the web tab or the iframe changes. Hey, we're the same, bro. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? Let me make this other guy wave. What's up, bro? Oh, hey. What's up, bro? I know you. There's the cool Somnium logo over there behind this thin layer of fog. And when I click view in world or view together, it says it's Fashion TV. It's even got the fashion runway music going. It's a 10-minute video. Got some styles going on. Maybe people could look at this and get inspiration for what they want to build. There's going to be a fashion show event here, and there's going to be certain types of like mini games where it's going to say like here's a celebrity or a superhero. Make a Ready Player Me that looks like the superhero. It's like, okay, I know that. It's a Unix system. I just have to go over here to change avatar. Custom avatar. Here are the ones that I pre-made. Let's make a brand new one. we'll go feminine. Without a photo, we'll start with her as our base model. Ah, there's people dropping in high fashion already. Hello there. I'm working on changing my avatar here. Ooh, oh no, it started me off on my weird one. That's gonna be a problem. I think my weird avatar is confusing it. Yeah, let's change my avatar to a regular one and then do that, so it doesn't get so confused. Hello! I hear them talking. Okay, let's try changing this again. Oh, there's all kinds of people in here. What's up, everybody? Okay, I'm making a new avatar here, if it lets me. Dude, I'm stuck on my Adidas avatar. Why am I stuck on my Adidas avatar? I'm gonna have to figure that out. Hey. Okay, everybody. I hope we have such a good turnout when the event goes down. There's 2 of me here. There doesn't need to be 2 of me here. I'm gonna make the other me go away. There we go, man.
I'm gonna make this off. Just come home. Bring it off.
Alright, we'll mute that. Cool, man. So I have people muted right now. You just click on somebody's name tag to mute them. I'll unmute these people and let them talk. They can talk to each other. You guys can go ahead. I am going to walk over to the edge here and sign off from the space. I'm happy people are here checking it out. Have a good time. And I will see everybody here when the event goes down in person pretty soon. I'm going to drop out of the space for now because this is very much a social app. Everybody can get together and talk, and that's what we're going to be doing for the event. But right now, I need to concentrate on wrapping up the stream. So, this is going to be a short stream because I've already accomplished the things that I wanted to do. But let's recap what happened here, and if the next stream that happens on Friday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time, right here on these same channels, if you are a creator and you have a specific question that you want me to address or ask, I will be happy to answer your questions, demonstrate things for you specifically to build the kind of web world that you want to build. So if you have any questions, have them ready for me by when the next stream starts. Ask me them early on in the stream if you're able to show up when the stream starts. That way I could start off with answering the questions before I get into whatever else I'm going to be building that stream. But yeah, feel free to ask questions and allow me to show you how to do things such as the attract mode camera, setting up a camera, like a static camera to be the starting position when people load in, anything like that. Especially if it has to do with the part that has to do with the Play Canvas editor here, or Somnium Web in particular, because if you ask me a bunch of Blender questions or 3ds Max questions, like the 3D modeling program, I'm not going to be as useful as I can be for things like this. Because I don't use Blender, right? I use 3ds Max, so my Blender knowledge is limited. But where we come together at, us Blender people and us 3ds Max people, is after you export your asset, whether it be a GLD or an FBX or whatever, you put them in to a level editor and you start composing them into this world. And that's when things start aligning and being the same steps no matter where you're coming from. Okay, thank you everybody for tuning in. And I will see y'all next week, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here to answer your questions and continue building the metaverse one room at a time. I'm SM SithLord. This is the Somnium Space stream, and I'll see you next time.